I wonder what the numbers would have been for Tage Thompson. 5 goals. How about this? Second fastest 4 goals to start a game in NHL history. And you got to go back over 100 years to Joe freaking Malone. Like, what a period by Tage Thompson.
Bad Joe Malone.
And what about the one-timer? Just see the one-timer, Frank, that he had his first one-timer goal. And you see on the TNT broadcast, right behind the net, 100 miles an hour. I was just like, oh my God, this guy is shooting absolute rockets right now.
Do you know that it pains me to say this? Speaking of a little Seravalli after dark, as Tage Thompson was going on his bender, all I could think about was you sitting at home, just absolutely loving it.
Oh,
it was like Gregor porn on ice.
Oh, buddy, he is fun to watch, man. And you know what? You got to give Granato some credit because Tage Thompson's really took off. Now, when they moved him back to center, right? Like he didn't play center the first few years. He moved him to center and he has killed it last year and now this year. And he is just, I'll be honest, I watch more Buffalo games. Like I used to always find ways to watch Ovechkin, and I still do, right? Like there's certain guys in the league that I want to watch. And right now, Tage Thompson's one of those top 5 guys that I'm like, if there's a game on, you know, like I got the NHL Network package so I can see every game. And there's about like Erik Karlsson at the start of the year. I was like, I'm going to watch Karlsson for a period. You know, Nathan McKinnon's always been that guy because he could have one of those freakish rushes. You know, Ovi always. And now Tage Thompson's right up there for me, right? Like last year was Matthews. Every game he was scoring, it seems. So he was a guy you want to watch. And right now, Tage Thompson's on that list for me.
I could not have gotten it more wrong. I just want to let everyone know, like, I was saying and railed against that contract this past summer. And part of it was because of the data that we had previously on the guys that were making the bets on these players, namely Sam Ventura and the analytics staff that went from Pittsburgh to Buffalo, because they tried signing guys to long-term deals before they really earned it. And the Penguins were still paying the price. Marcus Pettersson is a guy they cannot get rid of with his contract. They also signed John Marino, who they basically traded for what looks now kind of like nothing, who's been ridiculously good for the Devils. And so maybe that's on the Penguins. But I was thinking Tage Thompson, like it just seemed so premature. That season last year was such a statistical outlier. Like go out and do it again before we pay you. I'd much rather pay later and pay more and be sure than be stuck with 7 years and $50 million on my cap at a time when your team is finally at some point going to be coming out of the ditch.
Yeah, well, he'll be the Marchand, McKinnon, Draisaitl contract for the next few years that everybody, you know, is talking about all the time. And I know Nathan McKinnon got sick of that. He goes, you don't really want to be the best value contract. But I'll say this. I honestly, for one single year, Tage Thompson this season, it's going to be hard for anybody. Although I guess McDavid had 100 points in his entry-level deal. So
entry levels can't count. This is not, and this is not an
entry-level deal. This could go down as the greatest value contract because it's the last year of his deal at $1.4 million. He's probably going to score 50 goals or close to it. You know, maybe he might get 100 points. Like he's got 40 points already. Like it is mind-blowing how good he's been.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other ones that might fall into that category, but even like Panarin.
Like what about Brady Points last year of his deal? I'd have to look at that one before. But even him, it might have not been. It might have already got to 6. So, yeah.
Well, I can tell you.
1.4.
Yeah, he went entry level to then. So the last year of his entry level deal was 92 points. Which, by the way, he hasn't gotten back close to that level yet.
Yeah.
And then he went to 6.75 for 3 years before signing this extension last summer that brought him to 9.5.
Yeah. So, no, it is, you know, Sabres fans, they should be excited. You know, hopefully eventually, like they're into their second decade of darkness. They're just not one because this will be what I think it's 12 years when they miss the playoffs this year. So that's painful, but at least they'll have Tage Thompson to look forward to.